Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Algebra 1, Chapter 11, Section 2 in this book, percents. So, percents are something that people in general have a real hard time with. I used to work retail at a fancy jewelry store called Mayer in Berkeley, and we didn't use cash registers. That was considered not high class enough. We were very high class. And instead, we would sit down at a table with the person buying the Rolex or whatever, and we would do the calculations out on a piece of, using a regular little calculator, do the calculations of how much it was. And so sometimes you would have to figure out commissions on sales, or you'd have to figure out a discount or whatever. And all these people I worked with could not figure out the percents. And I would try to explain to them how to think through it, and they could never figure it out. And then I would go to teach math to kids, and I would try to explain to them how to think through it, and they never would get it. I could think through it, but I'm a math nerd, and they couldn't get it. So finally, we were at my jewelry store. There was a bunch of ladies that whenever it got time for them to do the math, they'd just come get me. And this is Lisa. She'll help you with your math part. She'll help us with the math. So I was a math consultant. Now I'm a math YouTuber, so I'm a math influencer, I decided. And I think I need merch. Math is great on a t-shirt or something. Anyway, back on track here. So all of this got better when my husband went back to school, and he's got a bunch of college degrees, and for one of them he had to go back and take an algebra class. So and he had a math teacher who said, just always use this formula, and it worked out. And I have been teaching with this ever since, and it's awesome. That teacher was terrific. And this is the formula. Is of percent 100. I'll show you how to use it, okay? So, what you'll have is some sort of word problem usually. And you have to figure out, they will give you, 100 is always 100, but they will give you two of these three things, and the third one is the thing that you're solving for. So the one you're solving for will have the question word with it. The other ones will have the word that goes with the formula. So it says, what is? So that what is a question word, so I know is what I'm looking for, and I put an X where is in the formula. That sounds confusing, but it'll get better, I promise, okay? What is 30%? Well, 30 is the percent, because it's got percent next to it. Of 70 feet. Of is next to 70, it's the of. Now, I cross multiply, I draw my arrows, and solve for x. So on one side I have what x times 100 is 100x, and on the other side I have, so 100x, and on the other side I have 70 times 30, which is 2100. Why is x not alone? It's being multiplied by 100. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide by 100. What I do to one side, I do to the other. These cancel out. Those zeros cancel out. If you know that little trick for if you're dividing something with zeros and there's zeros on top, you just get to mark them out. X equals 21. Now, so that means that 21 is 30% of 70. All right? And if you didn't know how to do that, just use your calculator. Paid a lot for that thing. Use it. All right. $14 is. So 14 goes with the is. 25%. That's where the 25% goes. Of what? Of is the unknown. What amount of money? I cross multiply. 14 times 100 and x times 25. X times 25 on one side. 14 times 100 on the other side. And that's actually 1400, isn't it? Okay, why is x not alone? It's being multiplied by 25, so I divide both sides by 25. I don't get to mark out anything fun on this one, but you do it on your calculator and you'll see x is equal to 56. So, $14 is 25% of $56. That would be something like I would be doing when I worked at the jewelry store. Okay. That jewelry store got bought out. It's not around anymore. I loved it. Okay. 135 is, so where is goes, rewrite 135. What percent, so the percent is my x, of 27. Ta-da! We cross multiply and solve for x. So we have 27x equals 135. And if you're multiplying by 100, you can just add the O's right there. It works. Divide both sides by 27 because that's why x is not alone. And x equals, if you do it on your calculator, it's 500. Isn't that funny? I wouldn't have guessed that 27 goes into 135, 500 times, but it does. All right, so how about this one? This was a word problem in your book about butterflies. It said that there were this many species of butterflies and moths, and there's 17% of all the species of insects. So how many species of insects are there? So 177, stick that in there. That was pretty bad. Let's erase. I don't think we're running out of time. 177000 is our is. What is our of? Do you see that? So that's the x. 17 is our percent. 100 is 100. Cross multiply and solve for x. This will be 177000. And then use your calculator, you get 2 more O's in there, equals 17x. Why is x not alone? It is being multiplied by 17, so we divide by 17, those cancel out, and x equals 1,000,000. But I think they found more species of bugs since your book was written, and I think there's more than that now. You'll have to go on the Google and find out. All right, so that's fun, isn't it? Do you think it's getting easier as we're getting toward the back of the book? I think so. All right, so math is great, and I'll see you next time.